The Soybean School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Pride Seeds, Cruiser Max Vibrance Beans, High Stick NT, and the Manitoba Pulse and Soybean Growth.
Joined by Glenn Forrester of BASF here in a soybean plot, talking fungicides on soybeans. And when it comes to growing soybeans in Western Canada, Glenn, traditionally or in the past we haven't normally used much for fungicides on soybeans. Are there situations where it can be justified, or what's your perspective on that?
Well, I think the soybeans are still relatively a new crop in Western Canada. I know in the Red River Valley they've been growing it for 25 years, but as more and more acres become more common in Western Canada, and the acreage is also start to reduce your rotation, and 1 in 3 years is becoming the norm, 1 in 2 years in some locations. That's when disease pressure starts to become more and more prevalent. And what we've seen is we've done a lot of trials with our products with Headline, and then followed it up with Preaxor the last couple of years, and we've seen a strong benefit of a fungicide kind of at that R2, R3 timing. Traditionally that R3 timing has been what we've seen the best in our results, but as we've gone a little bit further, there's a little bit more of a push to go to that R2, R3 timing, and seeing some of that bang for your buck. So there is diseases that are out there. Septoria brown spot is becoming more prevalent in Western Canada, but also light pressures of sclerotinia, things like that, where you can see a strong benefit. And we've seen about a 3 to 4 bushel increase, across a number of trials, but wanting to get more and more growers to see that benefit. So what I would suggest, if you're targeting a field and trying it out yourself, is target your best crops. Those are the ones that are going to be the most affected by potential for disease.
So those would also be situations, where the conditions are most likely to produce disease, when you have a bushy, thick soybean stand?
Yeah, ideally, as with any plant and any crop stand, the thickest, the ones that have the most yield potential tend to be the ones that have the most green leaf matter, the most potential for disease. It's also, the conditions are conducive for disease, wet weather. The disease can come in either from the stubble or from blowing in the wind, and that's where the disease will continue to progress. And there are benefits beyond disease control with some of the fungicides, where you get that that holding on the leaves a little bit longer, filling out those heads, and that's where some of that yield benefit comes from those plant health effects that fungicides like a Preaxor will provide a grower.
What do we see for fungicide use on soybeans in other parts of North America?
Across North America, there is a bit more of an increase, especially down in the south, where they have it in the 1 in every 2 year rotation. They've got consistent diseases like Cercospora that come in on a regular basis, where they're targeting those. In Eastern Canada, we've seen some really strong results over the last couple of years with Preaxor. Also, Preaxor combined with some micronutrients has seen some benefits too, where we're getting those consistent. I think last year it was about a 5 to 6 bushel increase in Eastern Canada from it, and there's lots of outside influencers that are seeing the benefit of that fungicide application that we've been promoting.